harder for Element Mystic to pull off than what it was on Blizzard World a little bit ago, just because I think it's easier for MVP to sort of roll around and get an easier engage on the Element Mystic. So I do think the difficulty has been ramped up here for the EM side.
It has MVP rolling out standard 3-3 here. Likely going to be taking this right side high ground, just trying to dislodge. Element Mystic going to be doing a little bit of early contest, allowing Doha to get this peel, this poke very early.
And for Doha, already 25%. This is pretty good for Sombra, especially because MVP hasn't been able to move forward and get through this first major choke point. So 40% for Sombra. This is looking good for Element Mystic so far. Meanwhile, for MVP, they're just looking to take the fight now. They're not wrapping around. They're immediately engaging, but Finn is down. Undini able to get him from the side. So now things are really falling apart for MVP. They're going to have to face the EMP on the next fight.
What was so huge there was Doha on the high ground. He actually gets the hack onto So What. He's unable to put up barrier, and that allows Undini's right click to just come in and get the pick off.
I mean, the way this is working out now, regardless how the rest of the point goes, if I'm Element Mystic and I'm looking at what you're losing versus what you're winning, I feel like they should just be forcing Sombra comps, even if that's not the plan.
I mean, so far they looked a lot better on Sombra than they've been looking on the traditional 3-3. They already have EMP as well. Finn actually making that swap from Xin to the Ana. As MVP move back in here again, taking this top right high ground.
And the thing, Element Mystic doesn't even have to worry about this here. They can just hold back, wait for MVP to put themselves in a situation where they can get high EMP value.
Yeah, if you want them to come to point. There's the EMP out to 4-man.
Well, the engage isn't quite as decisive this time. Froppy able to get away, but they're still able to catch So What before the effects are down. Undini gonna finish it off, but they invest the grab there towards the end, and that could come back to haunt them.
A lot of ult use for Element Mystic, considering that, I mean, the only saving grace is that Froppy's still only 50% to beat, and Undini has trance.
Yeah, I mean, one thing there is that when you make it decisive and you over-engage on ults, you can prevent a little bit of extra ult building from the other side. And hey, Doa's already at 34%.
He is, but they really need to get that EMP very soon because that's their win condition, even though Undini has that trance.
Early grab from Rookie. Rookie again dropped the grab. They're trying to catch Element Mystic
combo,
before they can retreat.
Combo, though.
It was preemptive. Element Mystic.
Good anti.
They were still in a position where MVP couldn't really dive on them. They grabbed first, asked questions later. They're still able to get alpha, but it comes at a cost. So what? Down. Meanwhile, Doha at 92%. He's very close to getting EMP towards the latter end of this fight. MVP, they're losing their window.
You know, Jasper also so low, needs to get these heals, needs these resources right now. But Element Mystic, their playing just went Sparkle, gets the mortar. He gets the snipe onto Finn.
From downtown, gonna grab Finn there, and Element Mystic, they're gonna be able to fully recover with an EMP in the bank. This could be very much first hold territory.
Very good exchange there, even with Finn's Bionade, the anti-nade onto Alpha, allowing the pickup. So What gets traded in return from Hanbin late, which means now they're back in. They have that spawn. Doa, he has the EMP. Sparkle has the grab. There's a lot of win conditions up for Element Mystic.
And again, Element Mystic, okay, they're going to be super aggro here. They just dropped the grab looking for early pickoff, and they get the early pickoffs. They don't have to use the EMP. That is absolutely fantastic. And MVP, they don't use any support ults there, but the problem is EMP is the great equalizer.
And a huge portion of the reason this is such a solid defense for Element Mystic is that Froppy has his first beat. His first beat of the offense with 40 seconds left. And that is so important because Element Mystic have been making sure even when they trade players to back off, deny a lot of this healing, because even if Finn has nano, that's not a transcendence. You don't have that defensive ult for either of the big fight, the game winner, the fight winner for Element Mystic.
And it's because Element Mystic overall, it's been a completely suffocating defense. It hasn't let MVP get a whole lot going. As soon as they move in, they just have to deal with an EMP or a quick grab engage. We get EMP, is another one coming up here. Doa gonna drop the EMP. Element Mystic immediately diving in, but Froppy not caught. Able to barrier. Give MVP a second chance in this fight. So What getting low. Still alive. Earth Shatter. Ready. Gonna drop the Shatter immediately out of EMP. Jasper investing in self-destruct. Doesn't quite get what he wants. Froppy gets caught. And Element Mystic, they keep them off the point. Oh, that was a ridiculous
Very good defense. Not only was it as impressive, as you said, where they wouldn't let them do things, but they made sure to back off. They made sure to give space when they needed to MVP and allow Doha to continue building build their EMP of their own, and also just not lose anyone in return.
And Element Mystic, I mean, it's very impressive how they're handling this right now, where we've seen so many times that a team will run a Sombra setup and they won't be able to disengage properly. Disengaging properly in Overwatch is a lot easier said than done, and they're making it look easy right now. They're not giving MVP the ability to just sort of roll into them the way that you like to do when a team is running a Sombra and you're not. However, as we swap sides here, we saw in the last map a good defense being answered by an even better defense. In this case, MVP would just have to have an equal defense, and that would lead to a draw and a series victory. So Element Mystic, they still need to find a way to get 33% here on first, which usually is achievable by most teams, but you know, we saw in 3-3 versus 3-3, MVP showing absolute superiority just a map ago, so you can't take anything for granted.
I'm gonna make an early prediction here, and if Element Mystic, this is a fortune teller prediction, but if Element Mystic are not able to get 33% on this point, unless an incredible turnaround happens mid-season here for them, they're likely not going to make it to playoffs.
So I thought you were getting this. Like, they're probably not gonna make finals. Like, no, they're not gonna make playoffs.
They're not gonna make playoffs at this rate if they can't even get 33% on the point now, especially considering their performance against some other stronger teams.
I would not disagree. Element Mystic, though, in a very good position here on Horizon. 33% is all they need to win the map. And for now, they're taking the longer way around, and do they go to space is the question here.
That is the question. They're moving up here, moving up to the high ground, taking this early engage, just looking for the fight. Both teams trading Sparkle, picking up So What.
Getting the early pick off there, and okay, now we see Element Mystic off the early pickoff, moving over into the point. A little bit of pressure coming in. It's MVP in a really, really tough spot here as Element Mystic putting down the pressure, taking down Froppy, and this is going to be a very quick first point take here on Horizon. Element Mystic not done yet, and it also means it's not going to be a 4-0.
And they can still potentially make playoffs now. My prediction has been shattered.
All right.
So it's looking good for them. That's going to be the map win for Element Mystic. It's going to be 1-2 now in the series. Very, very good for them. They have to be feeling happy because there's now a chance for the comeback, the reverse sweep.
Yeah. Reverse sweep, very much available. Of course, a grand Overwatch tradition, I would say.
It is definitely a grand Overwatch I can't speak today, ZP tradition. Yep. A grand Overwatch tradition. I want to see a reverse sweep because we haven't seen one yet in Contenders. Yeah. Korean Contenders.
Korea, yeah. Not quite yet. Of course, you think about it on the NA side, well, just go to any Fusion University game. Happens way more often than it has any right to.
It does. It's far too often there. But very well played from Element Mystic. They did have a much better offense, a much better defense here on Horizon, utilizing the Sombra again, but also having a very, very good push.
I mean, again, given their expertise with Sombra, how they've been doing the disengage part of Sombra gameplay very well. Doha has been absolutely superb in building EMP super quickly. Maybe just run the Sombra a little bit more. Maybe realize that...
Maybe utilize it if you're that good at it.
Yeah, maybe realize this is working out for you. And, 3-3 versus 3-3 overall has not been quite as good for them here so far. But that is going to be our Map 3 done. Map 4 is still very relevant here as EM can bring it back. Will they be able to do it? We're going to find out after the break. We've been through 3 maps here so far, but we still need map 4 to decide who's going to take it all. Element Mystic fighting back just now on Horizon. A great Sombra defense followed up with an offense that just simply rolled through and got 33%.
Well, it helps when you only need a tick.
Yeah.
It does help then, but looking much better. And also the 4-0 prediction is shattered.
Yeah.
Sources that, that can't be named on broadcast predicted the double 4-0, and already now we can't have it.
In fact, we
it's not happening anymore.
Could be heading straight to map 5.
Yeah, Gibraltar is our map 4 as well. So really, I know Element Mystic so far, they've been looking stronger on not just the standard 3-3, and this is the map to not run standard 3-3 for the majority of it.
Oh, from what we've seen from both teams here tonight and how both teams are currently playing, I think that Element Mystic actually has a very good chance of bringing this to a map 5 because it is Gibraltar. It's not a map that you can necessarily run 3-3 on the entire time, or if you do run 3-3 on it the entire time, I got news for you. Things might not end up so well for you. Other compositions can interfere with you in a way that you just simply might not be expecting.
Very true. So Element Mystic, it is there. They have that 1 map win now, but they're still down 1. They need to win this map to continue the series, take it to that map 5. So MVP just looking to finish it up, and MVP, or Element Mystic, looking to tie, to equalize.
Yeah, and I mean, look, again, if I'm Element Mystic, I take a look at what has been going on here and go, you know what? Our Sombra play has been fantastic. I would like to see them just run Sombra as much as humanly possible right now because, I mean, really, from the MVP side, there hasn't been a great answer.
No, they definitely have not had a great answer. Seems some of the problems they had from last season are carrying over into this season. Really just not necessarily extremely comfortable on 3-3 yet.
So, EM setting up here on the defense first is going to be MVP to the attack. And MVP, I mean, from what we've seen from them here so far, how they've been playing overall, I don't really expect them to do anything too crazy off the 3-3 path. I mean, it is possible for their offense, but fairly unlikely. Element Mystic coming out here in the defense, and I'm a little bit surprised to see them just come out on what is essentially a Winston 3-3 variant. I would have thought maybe Doha would be back on the Sombra, but it's not like this composition can't work here on the defense.
No, by no means is this composition not good, not viable. Also, Takoyaki in for Alpha as well. Takoyaki had a pretty solid performance on that first map, then Alpha's been in for the past 2, so maybe they're looking to make this move here for Gibraltar. MVP looking to roll out. It's going to be Sowat on the Winston as well, so that mirror matchup about to happen.
Mirror matchup, and Element Mystic not doing the crazy aggressive first hold here, not being in the side building, instead staying on high ground. Takoyaki, though, getting isolated. Bubble having to be used super early, so there's going to be a period where MVP gets a little bit of extra space, and they decide to move in, make it a little bit more aggressive, but that period a little bit down. High ground advantage still to EM, and it's a bit of a scrap up here on the top, but not one that's like very great for MVP.
They're actually having Sowat move the cart along with Jasper. MVP now dropping off that high ground. Element Mystic looking to engage very soon as MVP rotating through this left room, through the mini room, and actually are they gonna look for the contest high ground? They will, as Sowat sandwiches onto the blue box.
Sowat just gonna jump over, a little bit risky. There's a world where he just gets turned on and taken down, but it's okay so far for Element Mystic. Humben eating a little bit of damage, Rookie eating a lot more. MVP gonna be losing Valentine, and Sowat desperately trying to equalize. Not gonna happen. Element Mystic holding strong.
That is the definition of a very questionable jump target there for Sowat. Sowat, not even full HP, decides to jump the fully charged Sparkle, who has plenty of HP of his own, has the bubble of his own, the self bubble. There's no way the Winston wins in that setup.
You know, it's the Grand Zarya feeding program, I suppose, where you want to charge up Graviton pretty quickly. That's one way to do it.
Sowat actually making the swap to the Reinhardt. MVP be rotating once again here through this lower room, through the mini room, trying to move directly to point.
Element Mystic, meanwhile, staying on the high ground, not willing to jump down here just yet, giving up quite a bit of payload progress, and now they decide to move in. Super early bubble on the Takoyaki, and he decides not to commit. He's really close to Primal, could have committed there, but now they need to jump in. Takoyaki getting pretty low. Primal, though, up in reserve. Now he can go a little bit more aggressive. Froppy isolated and taken down to his unique, a little bit of Zen pressure there, and that's a big pick-off for Element Mystic. Lets them just move forward to the rest of the fight, and they're going to take it.
And really the best part of that for Element Mystic is they got the trance out and they got the frags with their combo while retaining both of their own support ults.
MVP, meanwhile, 2 minutes left to go on this first attack. One upside for them is that they are going in slightly more well-armed in terms of ult power.
Element Mystic needs to be recognizing here that MVP, they're going to have that grab combo Rookie very close to the grab Jasper, having the bomb. They need to ensure that the bubbles are ready for all their tanks to absorb that damage and give them the max value they can out of their support ults.
We're going to have Takoyaki move in, and of course, nowhere close to a primal here. Element Mystic, they have to jump down, but again, they don't have a lot of power to this. They need to get an early miracle pick. Rookie, though, going to say, yeah, you guys jump down. Here's a grab. Here comes self-destruct. Jasper throwing it right in over the top. Not going to connect. So what? Dropping the shatter midway through. They use it to catch Doha. MVP throwing just about everything, including the kitchen sink, into this fight. But so far, it is working out. They need a few more pickoffs to finish
Robbie
this.
dropped an extremely late beat as well.
They wanted to be sure, I guess. I think they got spooked. A few people got pretty low towards the very end, and I don't know if they really needed to do that, but it could come back to haunt them.
They were probably just afraid of the spawns coming back from Element Mystic. That's going to be the first point cap for MVP. Moving in, just trying to take these aggressive positions onto the high ground, so extremely close to that shatter. Takoyaki making the swap as well onto the Rhyme.
Remember here for point B, it's so important for MVP to be in a good spot. Immediate shatter coming in, looking for the fall through.
Can't get it.
So what? Almost dies in the process. Just barely back out, and no, can't back out in time.
Dropping the grab as well. So many ults used for Element Mystic.
You know, normally I would say that's a rough idea, but this is also point B Gibraltar, and the defense gets such a big advantage for retaking and getting positioning. That might have been a worthy price.
Well, they traded two big ults for it. They traded Trance and Grab for that. Not just one or the other. I don't think I can understand the Trance, but the Grab, there was only two people immediately in front of you if you're Element Mystic, if you're looking at the MVP board hold.
I mean, obviously I think this next fight is going to determine whether or not that was a good idea, but Gibraltar, it's so snowball based. At the very minimum, they stop the snowball.
I mean, they stopped the snowball. That is definitely true. You can't argue with that.
Element Mystic, ready to go in. Going to use the rally here early as Doha. Dropping down. MVP fighting for the battle. Both teams now on low ground, a bit evened out. Humben going to be going back over the top. Self-destruct in reserve if needed. Rookie can open up here with the grab. Finn has the Transcendence for MVP if they want to go in a little bit deeper. Takoyaki down. And MVP just going to clean up off that. So Mystic, they did stabilize, but not for long.
EM going to be backing out of here, trying to reconnect with their spawns. They might still have time for the recontest. You see how aggressive MVP are holding the doors, making sure they can't. It's going to be a split spawn for Hanbin as well, getting a little bit behind the rest of his team. He should be able to get out, though.
3 minutes still left here for MVP. It's a very quick time being set here so far. Element Mystic, though, they do have the tools required to stop this again and prevent a crazy snowball into point C.
For sure, double support coming up very soon for Element Mystic, along with that combo. It's really dependent on how they set it up. You can see moving forward, Sparkle looking for the grab.
Jasper, open up self-destruct to the sky, doesn't get anything. Element Mystic gang low, Transcendence from Dini, not in time to save Unique. Man down for Element Mystic, Takoyaki dropping the shatter, knocking down at least 3, but booped away. Everyone MVP, still totally fine. Froppy, barrier up, doesn't use it. Valentine's still okay, rally in progress, and again, it's too much sustain. Element Mystic going the fall, and MVP still potentially could set a very quick time here.
That rally from Valentine just keeping MVP alive despite the shatter from Takoyaki, along with the boop, appealing for the team. And moving forward, Rookie close to another grab.
And the grab's in a really good spot right now. Can get about 4 or 5 people in at the same time. MVP, though, sign the backup and give a little bit of room to the rally.
Yeah, just run away from the rally, wait for the armor to decay a little bit, because remember, it does not say full time anymore.
Now they move back in, the rally down from activation, and Graviton ready here for Rookie. Doesn't use it immediately. Gonna wait for the barrier to go down. Barrier now off. Graviton invested here by Rookie. 2 immediately off the grab. The patience paying off quite well here for MVP. And now
Undine has to get trans, and he has to get trans if Element Mystic want to recontest this card. He's at 93%.
All he was looking for. Now there's just a shield in his face, 94%, and that last 5%, so hard to actually get in here. Not going to be able to get it before 2 more people fall. Element Mystic on a Women of Prayer, heading back towards the fight, but they're down members. MVP, they can make it nice and healthy with a Transcendence of their own. And it's going to be Element Mystic falling here on Gibraltar towards the defense. And it's MVP getting a pretty quick time.
Definitely a very quick time for Gibraltar. I mean, not the fastest I've ever seen, but very, very quick. Good play from them overall. They've just been having, I mean, I think, once again, we look at the Ulticon for Mystic, that grab on second along with the trance. That's too much invested. I know we said, you know, let's look at the fight. Let's see how it plays out, and maybe that was a good investment, but I don't think in any world that's a good investment.
I just think it's one of those tricky things for Gibraltar where I do think teams get a little bit afraid, and rightly so, is the idea is that if you lose control in second, if you can't find a way back in, that can easily carry on to third, and, maybe that's why they overinvested.
But you can carry on to third with a grab.
Also true.
I would love to carry on to third with a grab, but when I see two people split on high ground and I pop a trance, I'm hoping my team can clean them up because your Zen can't supersonic speed up to the high ground there. He can't B-hop.
Maybe we should fix that. He's already floating. Just let Zen go completely three-directional in Transcendence.
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait to see Zen just have complete control of space and time.
Well, I mean, look, he's transcending. His meditative powers have actually grown. Probably not a good idea. But now it's going to be MVP to the defense. Element Mystic on an attack of their own here, and really, they have to set a pretty quick time to have a chance going in. I mean, it is Escort where if they just roll in at overtime, they could still make it work. But getting over what would be over 2-minute difference in that scenario, not great. So I do think there's a bit of pressure applied to Element Mystic here as they begin their attack.
Both teams going to start out once again on the mirror. They're using the Winston instead of the Ryan Hanban actually on that Hanzo, but likely just throwing the Sonic Arrow. They're going to be swapping, using it for the Scout. Watching Element Mystic here roll out for the card.
MVP. You have So What on the bottom here, going to get the early bubble, and now once the bubble fades, going to immediately jump out, not leaving any opportunity that he could be bursted down. Meanwhile, Takoyaki going up, and again, bubble fades, you see the Winston get out.
Both teams still just going back to their respective positions. Gonna have Mystic here moving back towards the cart. They're gonna have Hanban moving the point. MVP just sitting on the high ground waiting for the contest.
MVP waiting for the next phase here, still in the high ground. Element Mystic saying, you know what, we're going to challenge you. We're going to head right up over top here. Takoyaki eating a lot of damage, isolated and down. And once you have that man advantage, again, things start getting pretty rough here. MVP can be, Undini able to get Finn. The equalizer, Zen versus Zen.
And that was a huge boop actually off the high ground. Now they're going to be isolating Undine right there on the small pack. MVP, they're still in this defense.
Yeah,
great
MVP,
boop from Proppy.
Well, the boop there, it actually gets MVP back in and then some, where Undine was able to, equalize, but he had to put himself in a spot where he was vulnerable to getting booped off.
Oh, Mystic now moving back in close to the trance, having the rally, but not anything else really in the time bank right now, or in their ult bank right now. MVP just controlling this blue box. Jasper trying to do a little bit of contest.
Element Mystic trying to find a little bit of weakness. Takoyaki moving in aggressively again, gets chunked on engagement. He's banking on getting the Primal Rage here. Getting low, 97%. Meanwhile, MVP, a lot of ults coming on. Bradley gonna be used, self-destruct just lobbed right over. And now, Element Mystic waiting. Transcendence in from Element Mystic. Sparkle holding onto the grab. Grab used by MVP. Unique down. Here comes self-destruct in from Hanban. Over the top. Barrier up. Still catches rookie. Barrier no. But MVP, they've traded out a little bit more effectively.
The fight is definitely much stronger for MVP. They have more sustain, more health. Finn stayed alive. Getting these kills now on Takoyaki, the late kill. Much better ult exchange for MVP. Those early pickoffs for them so crucial.
And MVP just controlling point A very well here. And I mean, I think you almost have to look to the Winstons to a degree where Takoyaki's been getting heavily pressured every time he goes into a point of near death.
True, I mean, and look how aggressive MVP here are holding. There's gonna be the bubble onto Soa. He's gonna back it up now. But they're just controlling the blue box, building up their support ults again, building up that primal already, having another for Soa.
So what? In a really good spot here.
Early beat for Unique.
It wasn't even early though. They were about to fall. They were super low. He had to do it so Element Mystic could actually stay alive in the moment. So what? Finding Undini there. Early beat or no. And now MVP, man advantage. Primal Rage gonna be out. Takoyaki much the same. But again, they're down a player to start with. So what? Just pushing them back. And the beat was early, as you say, but it's because they were under so much pressure.
Yeah, well, just because the beat is needed does not make it any less early. Because they weren't able to follow up, they weren't able to push. They won't have it up either for that ult combo that's coming out very soon for MVP. You see Soa there also catching the beats out. Where was the peel for Undine as they fell off of blue box? They just allowed Soa to pressure him on the back line, get that free frag.
This is looking very good for MVP. At stake is finish out the series 3-1 over Element Mystic. Element Mystic, final opportunity to keep things going here on Gibraltar now.
lot of ults in the bank for both team. This combo exchange, this ult exchange for Graviton is going to be so important.
Froppy got really low, just barely able to get out. Here comes Rookie, Graviton in, Jasper looking for a fall through the dagger in the heart, gonna be getting Sparkle out of the fight. Element Mystic on a whim and a prayer. The self-destruct back the other way, doesn't connect. The barrier, keeping MVP alive. Man advantage now for MVP, series on the line. Element Mystic under pressure, Rally goes in, but Doa goes down. MVP going to be holding off Element Mystic here on Gibraltar. That is going to be the series as they take this 3-1.
3-1, and great combo play, great ult usage there from MVP. Really what was so important is they get the grab out first, make sure Undine has to use the trance first, but because they set it up, they're in a much better position. The split between the back line and the front line on that high ground, low ground, so huge there. And also the bubble or somewhat even denies some of the healing onto Sparkle, meaning Jasper can pick him up before the combo, before the bomb is even landed.
I mean, what it comes down to, just general across the board, what was going well, MVP just had better engages across the board. And you saw that just looking at the health bars of the teams as they were going in, where it was in large part due to Soad as well, just getting massive cleave damage, where you talk about the early barrier that came out, right? That wasn't a unique fat finger in any way. That was, oh, wow, my team is about to die. And he gets the barrier out. But the problem is it doesn't save the fact that everyone's still really low HP. They're going to be incredibly vulnerable as soon as the barrier fades. And it's a symptom of the main problem, which was that MVP was out engaging them in Gibraltar territory all the way.
For sure, and like you talked about, a lot of a huge reason for that is Soat's play. Soat was outclassing both of the main tank players that were subbed in for EM. He just looked stronger on both Reinhardt and Winston. He was the clear. Their direction, their aggression was much better for MVP, and their ult usage was clearly just better dictated as well.
Yeah, and I mean, for MVP, it's a roster that is looking very, very good right now. Meanwhile, I look towards Element Mystic. This has been a very rough start to the season.
It has. I mean, 0-2 after going to the grand finals last season is huge. That's a very, very big swing.
And Contenders Korea, it is an unforgiving region. Losing 2 matches this early, going to what we were talking about playoff.
And also the map differential isn't even that good either. They were 4-0'd their first, and now 3-1.
It's going to be very rough, where basically this means that going forward, every match for Element Mystic from this point out is essentially a playoff match. It's do or die. They don't have any more realistic room to give.
No, not at all. But we are going to be getting ready to go into our next series soon. But I believe we'll have to go to break first, will we not?
There is a break. Yeah. We need time to rehydrate. The viewers need time to rest after that series. But guys, don't go away. We still got one more match left here today. We'll be back soon.